This webinar is extremely important. The subject is extremely important. Email marketing. I never went over this particular subject because I was waiting for our mass mailer to be completed in Shopping Cart Elite. But after looking over more specifications, we decided to just let you use a third-party tool, and because we were actually going to integrate some third-party tools in the near future, and now that many of our clients have a big customer list, that it would be selfish for us to just wait and not tell you about this way of marketing to your clients. So this is a very good subject. I highly encourage you to practice what I'm going to be teaching you today. So let's begin with customer lists. So email marketing is obviously, sending an email to your clients, promoting them a product or service. Now, I want to talk about the value of a customer list. Like, what is the true value of a customer list? So, first of all, it's much easier to sell to existing clients than to new clients, because existing clients, they already bought something from you. They know who you are. They got a product from you, so they trust that if they buy another product from you, they'll get, the same kind of quality and service, especially if they're happy with it. So it's very easy to sell to your existing clients, especially if you know what you're selling and you're targeting the right product to the right individual. The value of an existing client is so big that today, Custom Maxima, which is a Maxima niche, and before, when it first started, Custom Maxima started in 2001. We're in 2010, going to 2011, and it's still selling products to customers that it acquired back in 2001. In fact, the other day, Tom, who's the owner of Custom Maxima, told me that, hey, he has a guy who he's been with the old Custom Maxima who keeps making tremendous purchases, like $1,000 purchases over and over again. Every month he buys something new for his cars, and he has more than one car, more than one Maxima. So the value of a customer list, especially if they're loyal to you, is tremendous. You can have 500 customers and never get new customers again, and just keep marketing to your existing customers, especially if they're in the market to buy your products. So it's sort of like, having this wholesale company where you get stable business, except you're a retailer selling to your existing clients, and every time you need to get more sales going, you just send out a mass email and you get your sales that you're looking for. To get an existing customer, you don't have any expenses because you already have that customer. So there is no advertising fees, no cost of acquisition. Once he's in your list, he's in your list. So unless he unsubscribes from you, then you can continue selling to him. And having a good customer list will give you stable revenue and guaranteed sales whenever you need them. So you need more sales tomorrow, send out a newsletter to your list, and you're going to get sales tomorrow. That's how it works. That's how easy it works. And I've been using email marketing for all my companies. I've used it for my retail store, auto accessory store. I've been using it for all the wholesale companies. I'm using it for Shopping Cart Elite, to send you the webinars, requests, and other promotions. So email marketing is a must. You have to use it, especially if you have a client list to market to. How do you build your lists? If you're starting completely from scratch, so obviously you can build your list when customers register with your company, when they order something. What a list is it's an email. It's a first name, last name, and email of an individual. You can build that up from website orders. You can ask them to sign up for your newsletter. And a lot of people don't understand the value of a list, of a targeted list, so it's tremendous. And if you can get somebody's email that would be interested in your company and interested in your products, then put it into your list. I mean, that one email that you entered might result in, $5,000 worth of sales at the end of the year. So don't underestimate that hey, just an extra email, why do I need it? Put in every possible email you can. So I mentioned here, you get eBay sales for your products, put that customer into your system. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to put the whole order in the system if you don't want to, but put his email address in there. Amazon sales, put the email information in there. Any other sales, I don't care what you do, Craigslist, local, car shows, doesn't matter where you're going to get that email address, but the whole idea is get that email address in your system. A lot of people don't understand the point of Twitter, Facebook, MySpace. A lot of people sign up on Twitter and try to get a lot of followers, get Facebook and try to get a lot of people to be on their fan page, MySpace, and so on, because they think that by having those individuals, they benefit from it, that they can market to them. The problem, Facebook maybe, even though email marketing is much more powerful than just having a Twitter or Facebook announcement, because you tap into that specific individual's email box that he checks every single day. And on Facebook, just because you put a news feed doesn't mean that everybody's going to see that news feed. Facebook has an algorithm. So let's start with Twitter first. A statistic that I've read, I don't have it in front of me, but I'm sure you can do your own research on Google and find it, is that majority of people that sign up for Twitter don't actually stay on Twitter for more than 2 months, which means if you have a Twitter account and you're looking for followers, you're going to get a bunch of followers. You're hoping that you're going to market to those followers, whenever you have a new announcement about some kind of a special. But 2 months later, whoever you got on your followers is no longer following you, and you're talking to, nobody. So one thing with Twitter is constantly try to get your list to sign up on your newsletter. So don't treat Twitter as a source for communicating with your customers unless you know for sure that everyone, majority of your customers use Twitter to follow you. If you believe that a lot of people on Twitter don't actually use it after 2 months, and majority don't unless there's a reason to, try to keep promoting a way for people to sign up on your newsletter or register for your company. So one of the things you can do is, register on our website to win an intake for your car or something valuable to your customer, and and just send them to your registration page. All they have to do is just click and register, put in their email, first name, last name, and that's it, or send them to your newsletter link. So use Twitter as a source to get your customer list built up for your website. You can schedule it in. There's a few companies out there that can, on a schedule, they can send out a Twitter message saying, hey, register for this, and you'll get possibly this for free or something like that. Same thing goes for Facebook. You can get friends. You can message them directly. You can also direct message Twitter followers. The idea for Facebook fans is get them on your email list. Don't let them stay on Facebook because you never know. Maybe they stop using Facebook. Maybe they don't really follow you a lot. So the way that Facebook works is whenever you post something on a news feed, if somebody doesn't follow you and you post something on a news feed, your message is not going to come up on their news feed. You're missing a customer who you can tap into his direct inbox for his email if he was on your customer list. And same thing for MySpace. Basically use Twitter, Facebook, and MySpace to get people to sign up on your website and get their email address. That's the goal here. So use Twitter, Facebook, MySpace to get email addresses for your company. What's the magic number for sending out emails? It's like saying, how much money will you be happy making? Everybody is different. But the magic number to see results would be between 200 and 500 people that you email. But most important is how many people will actually read your emails and take action based on what you're, telling them to do. So, it doesn't have to be 200 or 500. It could be 10 people. It could be 20 people. So there is no magic number, but for retail purposes, with a list that, is new, just like from your existing customers, if you have between 200 and 500 people, you can start communicating with them every week and just, make it consistent. You can do it with 10 people and 20 people, but you'll get better results if it's, 100 or 200 or more. So how do you sell to your list? First thing you want to do is you want to group your client lists. Now, we're going to have this feature in the future on Shopping Cart Elite, so we don't have it yet. And because you're going to be using a third-party tool, you can group people in the third-party tool. I'm going to go over how to do this towards the end of the webinar, but let me explain to you what grouping means. So you want to separate people that you found on eBay, that you found on Twitter, that you found on Facebook. The smaller the groups you're going to make, the more success you're going to have with communicating your message to them. For example, people on your website might want to get one message about some kind of a product or service that you want to offer. People from eBay might get another message. People from Twitter and Facebook might get another message. So, the way I have my groups set up, specifically in Shopping Cart Elite, I have different groups. I have active clients, potential clients, partnership clients, declined clients, clients that canceled, and so on. So I have all these different groups, and depending on what's my message that I'm planning to send out on a certain day, I send it out to a certain group of people. So it would make no sense if I'm going to start sending promotions to existing clients because you already have an account with Shopping Cart Elite. You don't want to see sales material from it. Same thing for, you want to get like webinars, for example, not the sales material. Clients who don't have Shopping Cart Elite, like new clients, they might be interested in, let's say, webinars, but people who canceled might not be interested in webinars. So the nicher your group is, the better you'll be with communicating your message, the less spam requests you're going to get from these people, the less unsubscriptions you're going to get, and so on. So you want to target your client lists as niche as you can, and if you have a small niche and you just want to target everybody, that's fine. Maybe you want to separate the people that return their products versus people who bought a lot of products, stuff like that. I mean, you can really go deep down on how you want to separate the groups. We're going to, once we integrate the mass mail service in Shopping Cart Elite, we'll have a lot of advanced functionality for you to really, utilize a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about. But in the meantime, you would probably have to manually keep your group lists on Excel and then import them into the third-party tool accordingly. So understanding your client list, what I mentioned before, it's like if you're going to be sending a message that is irrelevant to your client, you're going to lose them, and you're not going to be able to communicate with them again. So all the work you put in to get them on your list will now go to waste. So you need to understand who your client is and separate your groups into these little niches, and whenever you send out a message, try to send out a different message to different groups if that's what needs to occur for relevancy. What to sell to your list? So one thing that I hate, everybody hates this, and I'm sure you hate it, is these useless coupons, these useless promotions that, hey, get free shipping. Hey, here's a coupon code for 10% off. I get a lot of this from like GoDaddy. Hey, you're a VIP customer. Here's a 20% coupon. I can go on Google and get a 30% coupon. Thanks for letting me know that I'm a VIP customer who you don't care about. I can go on Google, type in coupon code, and get a better coupon that you're giving me to your VIP customer. Or, hey, we have free shipping. Well, that's great that you have free shipping, but I can buy your product for $100 cheaper everywhere else. I don't care. So when it comes to that, where your promotions are useless and you're spamming just to get a message out, this is a fast way to get, blacklisted, get unsubscribed, lose your whole customer list. So don't spam useless promotions. If you email specials, make sure it's really special. Like, do your research. Make sure this is really the best price. I'm talking about lower than eBay, and maybe that's something you want to mention. Hey, you can't even buy this cheaper on eBay. And a few examples that you can do. Here's one factor, actually, that you have to follow. And if you don't follow, don't do this. Do not do email marketing unless you're going to tell yourself that you will dedicate your time to do this. If you can't send out one email every week, which is going to be a useful email to your clients, don't even bother with email marketing because it's not going to really work. You need to be consistent with your message. Of course, different companies do different things. You could have an email once every 2 weeks. You can have an email once every month. But to make it very effective, it has to be at least one email every week. Of course, don't overdo it with one email every day, but one email every week on a certain day at a certain time. Have it on your schedule. My schedule is like Sunday night. I send out an email to my list, and I schedule it in to be sent out on Monday morning, so when everybody gets to work, they can review that email, first thing. Because if I send out an email on Saturday and people don't check their emails until Monday, then my email is actually like the last, the first one on their list, but they go from latest emails down. Different people do it different way, but I like to send out my email so it arrives there Monday morning. You can do it different ways, but be consistent with your emails. If you're going to say, yes, I'm doing email marketing, then do it once a week and send out a useful message to your customers once a week. So here's a few ideas. You can sell something at cost. Of course, you don't have to go like at cost. You can mark it up by a few points, but it has to be like a really, really sweet deal where you can't buy it anywhere else. So it has to be a really sweet deal. So, for example, let's say a product costs you $100. You want to cover your credit card fees and, make a few bucks so you don't completely, do this for nothing, and maybe do, 5 or 6% markup. And you'll probably offer a good deal to your clients. So if you offer one good deal almost at cost every week, your clients will know that if they want to buy something, they're going to wait until that day of the week to buy it from your store, and that's how you're going to make your branding. You're going to, be known that within your niche every week on Friday or whatever whatever day it is, you do this crazy special, and people will come and check you out. You're going to see a huge boost in traffic eventually. Another idea is announcing a new product every week. So you can get a press release from the manufacturer that you're announcing the product from. Press release is like a nice description for a specific part number or a product, or you can make one yourself and talk about a specific product for a specific car or cars, and promote that to your clients. So once a week you make sure you add a product and email it out and try to get people to check it out. There is press releases. Well, this is what I mentioned, a press release from a manufacturer. You can email your list. Don't do this every week. Maybe do it once a month to join your Twitter, Facebook, etc. And as soon as they join your Twitter, Facebook, etc., you obviously want to see if they can recommend you to their friends or see who their friends are. So this is purely for if you're going to be doing a campaign where you try to get more people from Facebook, maybe getting more friends from your email list through Facebook will get you to see who their friends are and maybe add them to the list as well. So maybe they're a part of a car club, and you can add like 20 people from a car club to join you, and you can you can friend them with a reference saying, hey, one of your friends is actually a good customer of mine. Friend me and join my mailing list, and there you go. You just got yourself like 10, 20 new customers. So that's if you're doing Twitter, Facebook. You can offer a VIP program or affiliate program. So I don't really like to do a free VIP program unless you really appreciate the client's business. The way the VIP program would work is you need to ask me to activate your wholesale module, and you would sort of do wholesale from your website, but it wouldn't be wholesale to other dealers. It would be wholesale to your customers who are VIP customers. And you can do something like, buy 5 decals and get VIP access to the store where all the prices are 5% above my cost for life. Obviously, you'll make some money on the decals, but the point is it doesn't have to be 5% above your cost. It could be 10% above your cost. It doesn't have to be what you say because, nobody knows what your cost is. But it has to be a really good price, and those customers will never shop with anywhere else because they can buy at wholesale prices from you directly. Why bother shopping around if you are like a distributor to them without them being a real business? So they're a VIP client of yours. You can also tell them to buy a yearly membership and get all prices at my cost. That's something you can consider doing where you don't make any money on the product, just cover your credit card fees, give them at whatever price you buy it for, as long as they have an annual membership fee. And it could be something like not crazy, maybe like $10 a month, which is $120 a year, or if you pay for the year, it could be like $100 a year and get all my prices at cost. So you can tap into recurring revenue from your clients. Might not work for everyone, but you can have a wholesale discount where you can be at cost plus 4 or 5% and let them sign up for an annual membership on your website. So that's a few ideas that you can consider doing as far as promoting to your list. I definitely encourage you to consider several of them, all of them, or at least one of them. So the Canned Spam Act was passed several years ago. It was passed because there was too much spam in email. I'll just give you a quick breakdown on the rules just so you're aware of them. This is another reason why we decided to go with third party, because we used to do our own mass mailing with our own email client, but we're not a email marketing company where we maintain email accounts. So we just didn't want to take the responsibility that the Canned Spam Act has just in case somebody screws up. We just didn't want to put more work on ourselves to go clean up the mess they did. So we would rather outsource that to somebody who specializes in email marketing and just give you advanced modules within Shopping Cart Elite to group clients and do stuff like that. But the Canned Spam Act, here's a quick breakdown of what they don't want you to do. So they don't want you to use fake emails, no fake headers. You can't just make a fake Gmail to use to send out your message and then get rid of it. It's supposed to be a real email without any proxy. You can only email those that agreed to be emailed. That's actually not in the Canned Spam Act. It's a little. I'm going to tell you how they want it to be done, but they mentioned that you should not be emailing people that don't want to be emailed by you. Okay, so if they agreed to be emailed, then you can email them. If they didn't agree to be emailed, you should not be emailing them. You should have accurate subject lines, so nothing misleading. You should have a real return email address. So there is a way that you can say, no reply at yourdomain.com, and they don't want that, so you should have a real return email address. You should offer an unsubscribe link and obey the unsubscribe. So if somebody doesn't want to receive messages from you, they can unsubscribe from your email list, and you should not email them again for X amount of days, but they usually encourage you not to email them ever again. You should display your physical postal address on the bottom of the email or somewhere in the email, and you should state how the email subscriber got on your list and that this is an advertisement. Usually you can also put that on the bottom of the list on how they came to be a part of your list. If you don't follow, if you don't follow, like, for example, how the customer came on your list, it's not that big of a deal. But if you don't obey the Canned Spam Act and you do a lot of spam and you do a lot of damage, you risk two things: either getting blacklisted, or you can actually go to jail if you, overdo it. You're not going to go to jail for sending 500 emails. I'm talking about like sending 1 million or 5 million emails. Those emails that you get about Viagra and other things, you go to jail for that. And the emails that come to you about Viagra and other spam, they're not based in U.S. Most of them are not. It's based overseas, where that's how they bypass the Canned Spam Act. But if you violate the Canned Spam Act in the United States, they can basically pursue you for whatever you violated on. But again, don't worry. You're not going to get anything as long as you follow these rules, and I'll explain to you a little bit more as far as who you can email. One of the things you want to do is avoid getting spam listed. There's a button, "This email is spam." Most of you probably don't realize what happens when somebody presses that button, but when you press that button, the email that you reported goes to the provider that hosts the email. That provider collects the count of how many people reported this email as spam. And once the count suppresses, it's a very low count actually, like I'm talking about like 10 or 15. Once 10 or 15 people press on the report spam button, you get a notification from whoever is hosting your email. So basically what they do is they send out a notification saying, "This guy is spamming, we're going to shut him down." You get a warning. Sometimes you don't get a warning. Sometimes they just block your email from ever emailing any of their clients again. So, for example, if you send 100 emails to AOL clients and 10 AOL clients say that you're spam, AOL can actually block you from their complete network. So anybody you email with AOL account will not get your email. It's going to come in as a 550 rejection email that you're blocked from AOL. Sometimes they will report you. If too many networks report you as spam, they block your whole account, your whole domain. I mean, you don't want to clean that up. Like once you get blocked, your sales confirmation emails that you get from, sending your customers receipts will get blocked. We had that once. It was a complete mess. It took a long time to resolve. You don't want to get into that situation. So bottom line is you don't want to email people that don't want to receive your email. You don't want to do spam because then it's a big cleanup. Use spam-free subject lines. What I mean by that is besides the filter that can put your email into spam, like, the Google's, there's a spam filter, junk mails, whatever. You don't want people to delete your email because your email looks like garbage. The subject line looks like garbage, your headline. So you want to make sure that whatever subject line you put will be very attractive for somebody to click on it. If you ever seen my subject lines from my newsletters, I usually tell you who I am. Shopping cart lead is sending you a webinar reminder, or if I have a new product, I'll tell you Auto Accessories Store has a new product, or we have a new deal, or whatever the case is. So I basically just tell you straightforward what it is, but I try to avoid the sales pitch or anything like that in the subject line. I just kind of tell you what the subject of the email is, like what the agenda of the email is, without mentioning any, hey, here's a special, here's a promotion, here's a sale. Avoid any of those words. Like, I don't have a list of words, but avoid words that people will delete your email because they're like, oh, again, another sales letter, because you have no idea how much spam people get, a lot of it. Your reply name, either your personal name at your domain or just your domain, your company name, is very important. So, once people like your first message, they'll keep receiving it and they'll expect, your message to be okay. Avoid spam filter keywords. So the spam filter keywords is like the junk mail that automatically goes into junk mail because you got triggered for whatever reason. Words like free, guarantee, buy now, exclamation mark, question mark. There's a lot of different things that would put your email right into the junk mail of the whoever got your email, so they won't even get a chance to review it, to review the subject line, review the email body, because it's going to go right into spam folder. So you want to avoid keywords that might put it into spam folder. So here's what you legally can do. I mentioned that get people from Facebook, but Facebook friends didn't necessarily agree to be emailed. We actually have to put a button on Shopping Cart Elite with a check mark if you agree to be emailed or not. But legally, what you can do is you can send one piece of spam mail. And when I say spam, it doesn't have to be actual spam. It could be whatever your message is. And if the recipient doesn't opt out, you can continue sending him email. If he opts out, then you can't send him an email anymore. So legally, you can send one email to anybody. That's how people do it. They get this huge 1 million email list. They send it out once. Whoever unsubscribes, they unsubscribe. Hopefully not a lot of people are going to put the spam report because they're going to have a lot of trouble with that. But can't spam act, can't do anything if you only do it once. If you do it twice, especially to somebody who said, I want to unsubscribe, then you have problems. So you can send as many emails as you want to somebody who didn't agree to be emailed, as long as they don't report you as spam and as long as they don't unsubscribe. So once they unsubscribe or report you as spam, that's when you cannot email them anymore. You won't know if they reported you to spam. Well, actually, you do if you go through a third-party tool, which I'm going to show you which one I recommend. They actually show you how many people reported you as spam, but normally you wouldn't even know if you didn't use the tool. So this is who I recommend that you deal with. There's a few companies out there that offer the mass mailing. Main reason why I recommend MailChimp, I actually don't even have an affiliate program with them, but I recommend them because of their pricing. Their pricing is free for the first 500 clients with a 3,000 per month sending limit. So you can add 500 clients today, and you can send them 6 emails within a month. So in other words, you can easily get 500 clients in the system, send them 1 email every week, and still be within the quota. And it doesn't cost you anything to do that. So if you're a new client in Shopping Cart Elite, now you have some advantage over understanding email marketing and the value of it. and you can use it for free. You can't beat that. And that's all you need, 500. You'll see the value from it right away. I read a statistic somewhere that for every dollar that you spend on email marketing, you get $42 back in profit. Just something to think over, that, your investment. In this case, you get free, and you can get $42 on every client, or let's not get into the math part of it, but you get the point. If you want to participate in email marketing, you have to ask me. You can email me to igor@shoppingcartlead.com to enable your customer export, and I'll do that. And then you can export all your customers from Shopping Cart Lead and import them into MailChimp. To demonstrate on how that would work, you simply go to your order management customers. Once you're in the customers, you have import-export here. You would just press export customers and export, and you're done. And you're going to get an Excel sheet on your desktop. And then you can use that Excel sheet to import to MailChimp. We're going to integrate MailChimp in the future. So if you have an account with them, you'll be able to, put it into the settings of Shopping Cart Lead and not use the MailChimp interface, but use Shopping Cart Lead interface to email through MailChimp. So if you're going to have an account, you will be able to use that. I mentioned this already, that MailChimp is free for the first 500 subscribers, and then after that, it's like $15, and then $30 and $50. So it's not expensive considering how much value you get out of it. I had another solution here. I had Constant Contact. That's the one I used in Shopping Cart Lead. I actually signed up for them before I knew about MailChimp. They're kind of expensive compared to MailChimp. These email marketing providers, technically, they all do the same thing. They send out emails. It's not rocket science that they do. Feature-wise, between MailChimp and this company, it's the same thing. There's a few other companies. The bottom line is they're all the same as far as doing getting the job done. I just like the fact that these guys have a free solution, which will benefit some of our new startup clients. So, their features are just as good as anybody else's. That's why we decided to go with them. One thing to keep in mind, that MailChimp and others may freeze your account if your list did not agree to be emailed. And how do they know about this? Well, if your unsubscribe rate is very high on every newsletter you send out, or as you send out your emails, they get spam listed, the users actually click on the spam button, they will contact you and ask you, how did you get your customer list? And you'll have to give them a good excuse, or they're going to cancel your account and not refund your money. It's actually in their terms and conditions. You want to tell them that this is, if that will ever be a case in your situation, you want to tell them that, they signed up through the website and they agreed to the newsletters. I'm going to have to add a newsletter checkbox on the registration part. So if you if you encounter that before that's there, just let me know and it'll get there right away before you answer them. But basically, if you get one email that reports you as spam out of 1,000 emails, they consider that acceptable. Anything higher than one they consider high. So if you get 2 emails out of 1,000 who reports you the spam list, you might have some problems with them. And if your unsubscribe rate is very high, for every time you send out a newsletter, you might have some problems with them. One thing that I want to avoid, the unsubscribe rate is not as bad as the spam list report. So if you suspect that your mass mail will trigger spam reports, a lot of the companies, I'm not sure if MailChimp has it, but the other one has it, they give you an option to put a message in the very top of the email, right where the spam button is, saying that you were put on this customer list because you bought from this company or you did something, and if you want to be removed, just unsubscribe here. So they don't, instead of them pressing on a spam button, they get an unsubscribe link right there, and they just unsubscribe, and you don't have any problems. Usually you get problems when you get spam listed, because then MailChimp is the one that gets their account suspended if something happens, and they have to go do the cleanup. So they don't want to bother with it, and that's why they take it very serious. So this is the webinar for email marketing. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, I'll be around for 2 minutes to answer any questions you might have. If you want to get the customer list export enabled, email me, please, to igor@shoppingquarterly.com. I hope you take advantage of it. There's a question about how good is Facebook for advertising. If you're talking about paid advertising, I never had luck with it personally. If you're talking about getting a bunch of friends that have keywords that are relevant to your niche, or going to your competitor Facebook fan pages and friending those people and getting them to your email list, it is a very good source for doing that particular task. There's a off-topic question here, Chris. What can we do if an outside company is using our email address falsely to send out Viagra-type emails without our permission? The thing is, anybody can fake an email because it's like an anchor text for a link. You can put anybody's header name, and I'm pretty sure that the only reason why you get an email with your email address to your own email box, because that's how their robot works, to frustrate you and open it and see what's going on and make you suspect that this is being sent out to everyone, including all your, contact list, your friends, and so on. That's not the case. Usually what they do is their robot just says, whoever you email, fake their email address, so it looks like they're sending the email to themselves with Viagra, so they open it, and the chances of them clicking it will be very high because they're wondering who this is and what this is, and you'll actually be surprised. It works very good for them. So whenever somebody uses your email, they're not actually using it to send it to everybody. They're just using it to send it to you. Okay, if there's no other questions, thanks for coming, everyone, and have a great evening.